What's up, Infected, and welcome to the Kwarenteen. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to play a game from Japanime Games by the name of Starlight Stage. It is a set collecting game where the players are producers at rival talent agencies. And your job is to recruit and train these performers and send them out and basically become the most famous talent agency with these idols. To do this, you're going to be assigning your idols to different tasks and training them and honing their skills and slowly advancing, putting on concerts, and overall just being fairly popular and drawing as much attention to them as you can. Now, it needs to be noted before I continue that what you see here is kind of a prototype copy of the game. It's actually the Japanese version of the game with the English paste ups from Board Game Geek, so that way I could do this video. Alright, setting up Starlight Stage is pretty simple. There are 3 decks. You have the idol deck, you have the fame deck, and you have the event deck here. Then you can tell the difference between with the upper right hand corner of the backs of every card. You're going to take these, shuffle them out, you're going to put 1 card out for every player in the game. So in this case, I'm playing a 4-player game. Now each player has an area in front of them. This is called their agency office. Now this is split between 4 different areas, and I'll explain a little bit more detail what these cards are, kind of how you get them, a little bit more in the future. But you have your used idol area, any acquired fame cards that you've gotten throughout the course of the game, any acquired tokens, and then any acquired achievement cards that you have not yet spent. And this is essentially how what's in front of you, your area, is going to look throughout the course of the game. Alright, let's take a look at one of the cards here. So as you see here, in the top left corner, it has the type of card it is. So in this case, it's an idol card. Next to that, you have the cost to acquire this card. Top right corner, you have the how many fame points it's worth. So for all intent and purpose, fame points are victory points. And then below that, you have the name of the card and then what it generates. So in this case, you get a diamond and a heart for playing this card. Below that, unless it says otherwise, any text happens when you acquire this card. So if I were to play the model, I would be able to generate 1 diamond and 1 heart. When I got the idol for the first time, I would get to take 1 of these heart chips that you see here and put it in my play area in front of me. And as we see here, there are 2 other types of cards. So as we already know, there's the cost to acquire this card up here. But this, when you get this card, you would take 2 of the music chips, as you see here, and then discard this card. So that's all it would do is this, and this gets removed from the game. This card, however, you're going to see a symbol here, and if it's in a gold circle, these are called achievements. So when this card is acquired, it's going to sit in your studio or in your agency office, and it can be spent at any time to pay for other cards. Now that you know what the cards look like, we'll go on to how to play the game. The gameplay is actually pretty simple. So on your turn, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to choose one of these 3 decks, and you may draw a card from that deck and put it in the appropriate row. So in this case, maybe I draw an event card and I put it out there to increase the selection of the event cards. Then you're going to play one of your 3 idols. Now throughout the course of the game, you may get the opportunity to acquire more idols, but starting out you do have 3. Now when you play one of your idols, it's going to go into your used idol section, and then you're going to choose one of the 4 actions to be able to perform, provided you can pay the cost. Now the 4 actions are, you can upgrade your idol. So in the event, I was able to say somehow use her to pay for her. This card would be removed from the game, and this one would replace this idol, and she would go into my used idol section, and you'd be able to get her back next round. The next action you could do is you can acquire fame points, or fame cards here, provided, of course, you're able to pay the cost. And you are also able to acquire event cards, again, provided you can pay the cost. Now, and the last action you can do, especially useful if you aren't able to acquire any cards, is you can play an idol and then acquire any one of the 3 tokens you see over here. Now it needs to be noted that it does not need to match the idol the idol card that you played here. So what you could do is I could play her and acquire a heart token, and then your turn is over. Proceeding clockwise to the next player, they would do the exact same thing. So in this event, I got a heart token. When it comes back around to me, maybe I choose to play her, which gives me a diamond, and then I can spend this token and I can then acquire maybe this card. Now when you acquire cards that have achievements, which remember is the symbol with a gold coin around it, this is going to sit here in my play area, and I can spend it when I play an idol to acquire other cards. So in this case, when the round comes back around to me, I can play her and spend this, removing it from the game, to then turn this card into this card. So she would be removed from the game, and my idol just got a little bit better, because now, rather than just generating a heart, she generates a heart and a diamond. Plus, when I acquired her, I would get a free heart token as well. Now, once the round is over, it's pretty simple. You're going to take the first player token and pass it to the player to the left, and you're going to pick up your idols, and then you're going to do the same thing again, starting with the starting player. They're going to get to choose to draw one of the 3 cards, they're going to play an idol, and they're going to be able to take an action. However, I do need to note that there is one exception to how you can play these idols. Now, in order to acquire tokens, to upgrade your models, or to get fame cards, you play one idol, and you perform the action. However, in order to acquire event cards, you can play as many idols as you want. So I can play, for example, these 2 cards here in order to acquire this one achievement card, because maybe I really need that heart. However, I'm going to have less actions than everybody, because it took me 2 of my 3 idols to perform a single action. When it comes to you, if you don't have any cards to play, you have to pass. And the round is going to continue until nobody has any idols left to play. Now you're going to continue playing like this until the fame deck is out. Once somebody decides to draw the last fame card, you're going to finish out the current round until nobody has any idols. At that point, you're going to pull out all of the scoring cards that you have in front of you between any idols and any fame cards you've acquired, and you're going to tally up the points. So in this case, I have 3 and then 3 plus and 2 and 1 plus my idols. However, some of the cards have purple stars. So in this case, you get 1 point plus 1 additional star for each idol at the end of the game that you have. So in this case, this card's actually going to be worth 4 points instead of just 1. At that point, whoever has the most fame points is going to be declared the victor. And that is how you play Starlight Stage. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was informative, and I'll see you guys next time in the Quarantine.